Hello, this is Mr. Huff, and now we are going to create another rim using a revolution and using additive techniques to build the rim. This one I'm not going to do any dimensions. I'm just going to lay out the basic shape and explain the concepts. So we're going to start by starting with the sketch on the front plane. Going to press the letter N and P to show normal to plane and remove the main planes, the top, front, and right. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need an axis to revolve around. So I'm going to set an axis here that is vertical, and it doesn't matter about the distance or length of it, so I'm going to delete them. All right, so now I'm going to think about my wheel. If I did a cross section of it and cut it in half, what would it look like? I would basically have two cylinders that, in this case, they're offset a little bit. So I'm going to do an inner cylinder that would have some space like this, and an outer cylinder which might look like this. Okay. Also on this, it's going to have on this outer cylinder, it would have a little rim for the wheel to sit on, and that would be mirrored on both sides. So I'm going to add a construction line at the midpoint, and then we're going to use mirror, and we're going to choose this mirror line and select those three pieces there. So now that's mirrored on both sides. I'm looking at this part. It looks a little thick, so I'm going to move this over. And again, this is just right now, just making stuff up. If you had specific dimensions, then this would be something you would need to pay a lot of attention to. Just to make this a quicker operation, I'm going to trim these lines out here and this line out here. Okay, so now I have my sketch done for the first portion. So I'm going to finish the sketch, choose Shift F7 or Shift and number 7 so I can see it in the angle. And then we're going to revolve. The first thing we do is choose the faces. So we're going to choose this face and this face. Since these are not connected, it's going to produce two parts. Then I'm going to choose the revolve axis, which is going to be that center line. And it didn't get my other face. There we go. Okay, so you need to choose those faces and then revolve like that. So you should end up with this. Finish that. Now we want to go, and I'm going to press P to show the planes again. And we're going to choose View, Section View. And I'm going to choose the front plane. Actually, I think I hit the right plane, but it doesn't matter. That's what I want to see. So I see a cross section of the two cylinders. So what we want to do is we want to add a piece between here and here that connects these two, and then we're going to do a partial revolve and a circular pattern of those pieces. So we're going to start a sketch on this face and normal to plane. We're going to zoom in. We're going to do a sketch here. Let's just do, I don't know, we'll just do some lines here. So I'm going to start inside here, go out, go back in, go out, go back in. And this has got to be a closed loop. So I'm going to go to where this kind of connects here, and we're going to kind of follow that along the inside. It doesn't have to be real precise. So I have an odd shape here. You could use arcs and different things. I'm just doing a real quick example. So I've got a closed loop shape here. We're going to finish that. Now I'm going to shift and do number 7, and that way I can see this. And we're going to do a extrude right here. Actually, it's going to be a revolve. Sorry, revolve. It's going to be a revolve. I'm choosing this shape. And I'm going to choose one of the circles here for, choose your revolve axis, choose any circle. And instead of full, we're going to go one direction, and we're going to put, I don't know, 15, 20, 25 degrees. Let's try 15. What does that look like? So you can see it makes a little spoke here. Okay, so 15, let's try 20, just for fun. So it really doesn't matter. I'm just showing you how to do this. All right, so we're going to finish that. So now I have another part that is a spoke. Okay, I'm going to go back to my full view. So I'm turning off my section view, and I'm going to press P to hide the planes. And now I have this part 3. What we want to do now is choose circular pattern, and I'm going to choose part 3. And we're going to choose the axis, any circle on this rim. And then I'm going to tell it how many instances I want. Let's try 6. How does that look? We could even do, let's try 8. Okay, that looks pretty good. So there we have 8 spokes. And we could kind of look at this and yeah, that's good. So what we're going to do now is use Boolean, and we're going to do union, and we're going to select all the parts in this. Holding down Shift and selecting everything, we're going to make it one continuous part. We're going to choose an appearance that looks like a metal. Now let's have fun with some like chamfers and stuff. So let's look at the profile here. To make this look more rim-like, we can do some things like we can add a chamfer on this edge. That looks good. Put it on the back side as well. There, and let's do there. We could go chamfer around the interior back here. We could add some chamfers on that line and on this line, just adding some detail. So you can try different things like that. So you can start seeing how we get a really nice looking little rim here. And you could also do like fillets and all that kind of thing around your different pieces. So there's an example of some chamfers thrown on there, and you can see that you have a nice little rim. That is using additive techniques.